At this point, I'm gonna be honest with you. About ready to soak this sumbitch in diesel and burn it to the ground. Good morning, everybody. How are y'all doing? It's a boring weekend. Sitting in Franklin, Virginia, not doing much. There's really nothing to do in Franklin, Virginia. I was gonna stay in Norfolk, Virginia, but there was only one truck stop up there that had parking, and they didn't have. Well, no, I'm sorry. There was one truck stop up there that had showers, and they didn't have any parking. I had sat there for, I don't know, a couple hours waiting to see if someone was going to pull out somewhere or something. No one ever did, so I drove over to Franklin, Virginia, to the Loves and parked there. But something nice happened to me Saturday. I was eating at a little Mexican restaurant in Franklin. Went to pay, and the server said, your bill's been taken care of. Okay. They said, yeah, someone walked in. I guess they were getting to go. I never seen them. But they said someone walked in to grab some food and paid for yours and said, tell him from one driver to another. So I thought that was awfully nice. If you're watching this, you've seen my channel, you know, so I'm sure you've seen my truck, you've seen the logo on the side of it. So if you are watching this, I appreciate it. It will be passed forward. So thank you. Or it'll be paid for. So, but we are, like I said, we're running over to Chesapeake, Virginia right now. I hate this transmission. Anyway, we're running over to Chesapeake, Virginia right now. Supposed to be picking up 2 forklifts. There are 2 Toyota high reach forklifts, which are I believe are the 3-wheel. I'm not very fond on the 3-wheel because I've had one broke through my deck before, or break through my deck. So I'll probably, I don't know, I'll figure something out. But it pays pretty decent going to Fort Worth, Texas. There really wasn't much else on the board this morning. I mean, there was, but things are going for cheap. I feel bad for the hotshot driver. There was probably 4 sitting in that truck stop. Still, you know, you can see them on the computer and on the phone looking for loads. There was one non-CDL that was sitting there. He was parked, I don't know, about 3-4 rows or parking spots down from me. And you can see him call after call after call. But like I said, the board was bleak this morning. Things on there, you know, pulling out of Norfolk and Chesapeake, and you know, paying like $1.80 for a high cube. Not worth it. Not worth it. But I looked out on this one. This one's 3,500 on, I think, 1,400 miles. It's just over 250 a mile. But then we'll work on getting on some better freight. But anyway, that's where we're headed now. We'll holler at y'all here shortly.
These are the dreaded forklifts that I hate so much. Luckily, they're not the 3-wheel, they're the 4-wheel. But oh, everything's good. I got it all chained down and then threw a strap over it. These are somewhat difficult to chain down. I got a binder here on each side, and then the chain on that right there. If y'all know of a better way, I'm all ears, open to suggestions gladly. These forklifts suck, like I said, when it comes to chaining down, because there's no anchor point or anything on the back beside that right there. You can't go over the top because you'll screw the plastic up. Possibly through here, but you risk getting them chains on the battery terminals. Like up in there. But like I said, you risk screwing with the battery, and I don't want to do that. I did throw a strap up over the top because they are tall. Even though the weight's down here, they are tall, so kind of give it some support up top. I do have the wheels sitting over braces up underneath the trailer also. That way they're braced for the ride. But also, they were a little heavier than the broker mentioned. They were supposed to be 12,000 pounds, 6,000 pounds a piece. They are 6,000 pounds a piece, but that's without battery. So the batteries are 2,300 pounds. 2,300 pounds. So that puts you at 7,300 pounds. 14.6, right at 15,000 overall weight. So I should be good. Just gonna hit the road. I do have to stop by Freightliner again. The joy's on in an older truck. I have the return line going to the fuel tanks is weeping. It's not a full leak yet, but it's weeping. And with it doing that, it takes just a little bit longer to start. It's almost what it acts like is when you do a fuel water separator change, it drains that bowl down, and you fill the bowl back up. Once you put a new filter in it, you fill that bowl back up with diesel and roll it over, and it takes about 15 seconds to start. Right now, it's like it's sucking just a little bit of air when you're trying to start it. So it takes, instead of like 4 seconds to start, it takes about 7 to 8 seconds to start. So I'm gonna run by Freightliner and pick up another little fuel line and get that changed out at some point. It's not critical right now. I'll probably do it tonight when I stop. It might take me 20 minutes, if that, to do. So I just want to make sure I do it at a truck stop, because when I take that line off, well, first I'm gonna have to drain that fuel water separator bowl. And I have a little gas can that I keep diesel in. That way when I change the fuel water separator, I can fill that bowl back up. So I'll drain the fuel into that can, and then, but I want to be at a truck stop when I do it. That way I have access on site to diesel. That way if it takes a little bit more to fill that bowl up than that 2.5 gallon can, I'll have it. So anyway, we're fixing to hit the road. Like I said, Freightliner's like 3 minutes from where I picked up, so I'm gonna stop by there, pick up a fuel line, and then we'll be on the road. So we'll see y'all later. Alrighty then. Freightliner, the Freightliner place here in Chesapeake didn't have it, so they said their Freightliner dealership in Charlotte, North Carolina has it, and that is directly on my route to Fort Worth. So I'll be there in 5 hours. Once you put me there at 8 o'clock, and
3 of them in stock, so I'll pick one up there. We'll be good. No big deal. Need be, I got rescue tape, which probably wouldn't work very well because that is a steel braided or steel braided coated line. So all that would do is just redirect it outside of the tape. But anyway, we'll be all right. So something else I forgot to mention too. I almost got in another wreck. I was Saturday when I was going to eat. I was coming down this little road, speed limit 35. I was doing speed. I think I was doing actually under the speed limit. And I seen a car up ahead of me that was in a shopping center waiting to pull out, right? And I could clearly see this guy looking at me as I'm coming up to it. And he waits till I don't know, I might have been 50 yards from him, 25, 40 yards, I don't know. Wasn't very far at all. And he just decides to pull out, gets halfway out, and then stops. Of course, I slam on the brakes. Luckily, I stopped about 2 feet from him. And he's just standing there, or just sitting in his car looking at me. And I'm like, dude, what the hell? Move. Either go or back up. And he decides to back up. I didn't have my GPS, the camera on either, which sucked, or I'd have been able to show it to y'all, because my screen had just locked up about a couple miles back. So I had to unplug it and let it do its little reset deal. So, of course, I didn't have the dash cam on. So, but yeah, like I said, driving under the speed limit, and he's looking at. I could see him the whole time I'm coming up to him. He's standing there watching me, and I'm thinking, okay, he's waiting on me to pass, and he'll pull out. No, he waits till I get right up on him, and then pulls out halfway out into the street and stops. So, some damn fools in this world. I don't need no more wrecks. Even the not at fault wrecks. I don't want any wrecks, period. Next time though, I am going to start keeping my Alka-Seltzers in here. That way, something like that does happen, I can throw a Alka-Seltzer in my mouth, just fall out the truck, start crappie flopping. Foam coming out the mouth. Might as well get paid, right? Anyway. So, hold on just a second. Alright, so this is the line that was leaking on me, and it was leaking right here. So this goes back to the splitter. It is a fuel return line. This line comes from the head. And then these are your 2 supply lines. So I tried taking this one off, but there is some brackets on top of the transmission that is a pain in the rear to get to. So I just measured it, made sure the fittings were right. Stopped by Cauliflower Total Hose and Fittings just outside of Atlanta, and got a new hose
So I'm gonna run this under there, zip tie everything up for now, and then when I get back home, I'll take that old hose. I'll take that old hose out and put this one back in them brackets on top of the transmission. I just don't have enough time to be screwing with that. I'd be here all day if I was trying to get to them. They're kind of difficult to get to. So anyway, we're gonna get this hose put back on real quick. We'll be back on the road and be in Fort Worth tomorrow sometime. Piece of advice: I got the fuel line change. In the process, I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing, and I got everything put back together, and when I pressed the clutch, I felt a pop. It's like, what the heck? So I got up underneath and looked, and I was thinking in my head, I guarantee you, I didn't pay attention to where I was running the splitter line going to the the shifter, which, you know, would be this little line right here, right? Well, up underneath, it goes to the splitter body, the valve body, whatever you want to call it. Right there, right? When I got up underneath, that black line was ripped. It had pulled out of this. So he had a fitting in there, a 90 with a compression fitting, but it was gonna be, I would have made it work if I had to. But there was you know, I pulled the 90 off of that splitter body, the little valve body on the transmission, and I was able to dig out that little piece of tubing with a nice pick and just working it. So yeah, that added like another 45-50 minutes pulling the transmission, how, you know, the boot and all that stuff back off. At this point, I'm gonna be honest with you, about ready to soak this sumbitch in diesel and burn it to the ground. But I don't know, it's got to get better. It'll get better. It's gonna get better. Holy Spirit, activate, activate, activate. Holy Spirit, activate, activate, activate. Anyway, let me finish. I got to get this little thing back down. Let me see if I can show y'all. Hold on. Oh. Alright, so this has got to go, I don't even know. Anyway, it's got to go way down in there. So anyway, let me get back to work. One other thing I forgot to mention too. That fuel line ended up running me $180. So according to Freightliner, that fuel line's supposed to be 65 inches. So I pulled my tape measure out, measured it the best I could, and it looked like it was 65 inches. So when I had the fuel line made, I told him, go ahead, cut it for 74. Yeah, 74. That way I, you know, a little bit of room to play with. And it wasn't enough. So I had to go in and get another fuel line made. So I made it at 88 inches. And so the first fuel line was $81. The second fuel line cost me $102. So it cost me $183 for that fuel line. What's that old saying? Measure twice, cut once. I guess I need to pay better attention next time. Anyway,
everything's fixed. Splitter's fixed. Truck's running good again. Except for one other issue I gotta fix, and that's the flex pipe. So coming off the turbo, you got a 90 and then 90 into flex pipe, and that flex pipe is split on the bottom side, so I have a lot of exhaust coming out right there. Luckily, I don't run my truck at night, so I don't have to worry about the carbon monoxide buildup or anything inside the cab. Even if I did, I have the carbon monoxide alarm. But that's the other thing I got to fix. It's just a little piece of flex pipe about a foot and a half, maybe. So I'll probably get it fixed when I go back home, or I don't know. I might stop by Freightliner tomorrow or something, or Chrome Shop, or hell, anywhere. They all sell that flex pipe. So anyway.
Good morning, folks. We made it. Now to get this unloaded real quick, because I got another load in Fort Sill, Oklahoma. I gotta go pick up, so holler at y'all here soon.
Anyone else would go back inside, but we set out to walk 1,000 good miles from our hometown, leaving everyone behind as their slow fires died down. Once we left, we found it harder and harder to slow down, 'cause we set out to walk 1,000 good miles from our hometown. 1,000 good miles. The years have come and gone, but we're right where we feel we belong, and anyone else would have turned back by now.
What's going on? Man, it's always fun when you're dealing with them low ground clearances like that. What we ended up doing, if you can see in the time lapse, tilt the bed up, drop it down to the front, hit the concrete, and then I just slowly pulled forward as he come down with the forklift. So we ended up getting both of them off. Not a bad trip. Now we're headed to Fort Sill, pick up a Humvee and F-250, I believe, going to Annapolis Junction, Maryland. So, yep. Anyway, we'll holler at y'all on the next video. I'm about to run out of space, so I need to do some transferring of content over to or off of the SD card. It's a shame. I got like 164 gig SD card and it's full. Anyway, we'll holler at y'all later. Y'all be safe. Have a good one. Later.